Hello, third grade readers. I'm very excited to share another lesson with you today. Every time I read a nonfiction book, a book that gives facts and information about a topic, I think about the main idea. That helps give me information to grow my ideas on a topic. It helps me check for understanding. Good readers do this at the end of a paragraph, a section, a chapter, and even an entire book. In our last two reading lessons, we read and learned about how plants grow. As we research this topic by reading more about it, we grow our ideas. It's important as we read longer sections to understand the main idea and compare that information. Yesterday, you learned about the sketch and chunk strategy as a way to visualize the information and determine the main idea. Today, readers, I'm going to teach you how to use the strategy on a longer section of a book. So let's get started. I'm going to remind you about the sketch and chunk strategy. You are going to stop after every paragraph or short section. You're going to think, what am I picturing? What is that mental picture in my mind? Then you're going to draw a quick sketch, look back at the sketches, and ask yourself, so what's this whole section mostly about? I'm going to share part of the book, The Plant Life Cycle by Arnold Ringstad. I'm going to read chapter 1, From Seed to Plant. This book was accessed from Epic Books for Kids. You can access books with your classroom code. I'm going to pull up the book. Here we go, The Plant Life Cycle. Now again, I'm choosing this book because I want to learn more about plants and how they grow. So I'm going to read chapter 1. Now this book does not have a table of contents, but it does tell me this is chapter 1 and it does have the heading From Seed to Plant. It is a warm summer day. The wind carries away seeds from a dandelion. They float through the air like small parachutes. They settle on the ground. Some will grow roots in the dirt. Water and sunshine will help them grow. Then they will become new dandelion plants. This process is part of the plant life cycle. So I'm going to visualize or create that mental picture in my mind. Now, the photograph here helps me to do that. I see these little parachute seeds flying off into the wind. I also notice this caption. One dandelion can have between 54 and 172 seeds. And think about all those seeds going off into the wind and spreading across a huge field. Plants are important to life on Earth. Some provide food for people. Vegetables and fruits are plants. People need these plants for a healthy diet. Animals eat plants too. They wouldn't be able to grow without plants. Some people eat animals too. So I'm thinking about the second paragraph and all of those things that are important for life. I'm also noticing this first sentence. Plants are important to life on Earth, like a pop-out sentence that we have talked about before. And I'm visualizing what's happening in that paragraph. Thinking about all of the vegetables and fruits that people eat. I'm thinking about how animals eat plants too. I'm thinking about a cow munching on some grass. And I'm thinking about how that cow wouldn't grow without eating that plant. I'm also thinking about this, third graders. I'm thinking about how in the last book that we read, we talked about how bees are important for plants to grow. And now this information is giving me some information about how the wind is important as well. In the next paragraph, third paragraph, plants have other uses too. Wood comes from trees. People burn wood for heat. Scientists use plants to make medicines. For example, aloe gel is often used to treat sunburns. It comes from an aloe vera plant. Many kinds of clothing are made from cotton. Cotton is a plant. Plants also release a gas called oxygen into the atmosphere. People and animals need oxygen to breathe. Now I'm thinking about, again, this photograph. This is helping me understand what an aloe vera plant is And I'm also noticing this caption. People have been using juice from aloe vera plants for thousands of years. So thinking about how plants have been used for a long, long time. So in my mind, I'm visualizing, thinking about a tree, and I'm thinking about how you can get lumber from a tree. You can build houses with that lumber. You can use that lumber to burn and have a campfire and heat from the campfire. I'm thinking about also the cotton plant and how you can make cotton shirts from that cotton plant. And I'm also thinking about all of those different plants and how we can get oxygen from all of those plants. I'm thinking about that word atmosphere too. I know that we had that when we were talking about weather, but atmosphere means the whole mass of air surrounding the earth. So all of that air around us. In the last paragraph, it says plants go through a life cycle. The cycle creates new plants. It allows the plants to survive and spread. This cycle makes life as we know it possible. Again, I'm picturing, I'm envisioning, I'm thinking about how that paragraph is giving all kinds of information and wrapping those other paragraphs together to give me a conclusion. Now, third graders, I'm going to go back and I'm going to think about my, I'm going to think about my visualizing, and I'm going to show you how that is going to look. So I thought about my bullet points. Seeds are carried by the wind, and they grow in other places. So I'm thinking about that dandelion and all those little tiny seeds that are flying off into the wind and how they cover the entire field and so many new dandelion plants, and how that wind was important, and as well as the bees. I learned about the bees in our other book, and now I'm learning about the wind. And that main idea that it came up with was seeds are a part of the plant life cycle. In the next paragraph, we talked about how fruits and vegetables were important for people to eat. Animals eat plants as well, and we also can get meat from animals. And I noticed that that pop-out sentence was right there. Plants are important to life on Earth, and those were the reasons that they were important. In the next paragraph, it talked about, again, another pop-out sentence. Plants have other uses, and all of those other uses, lumber, heat, medicine, clothes, oxygen, and all of those picturings in my mind, that visualizing in my mind, I can sketch that out. So from all of that information, from all of my sketches and my mental images, I can come up with what the section is mostly about. What is that main idea? And I came up with plants grow through a life cycle, which makes life possible. Seeds are part of the plant life cycle. Plants are important to life on Earth, and plants have other uses. So because of that, plants go through a life cycle, which makes life possible. And I can use my boxes and bullets and use those main ideas from each one of the paragraph to find that main idea for the whole entire section. Plants go through a life cycle, which makes life possible. Seeds are a part of the plant life cycle. Plants are important to life on Earth, and plants have other uses. Now, third graders, this was my my sketch in chunks that I did on paper. You can try this as well. As you are sketching, think about what that main idea is and jot those notes. You might want to put some labels like I did to help understand that drawing. And as you are coming up with your main idea sentences, here's a hint. Remember to use the title, headings, and keywords from the section to help write your main idea sentences. So your job, third graders, is to try reading a different nonfiction book on the topic you read about yesterday, or read more of the same book. Use the sketch and chunk strategy to find the main idea for a longer section. I'm starting to research information about plants and animals so I can learn more about my science topic. You can try that as well, or try a topic that you're interested in. Remember to share your ideas with your teachers. Have a great day. Bye.